The indigenization of Christianity in China was very much manifested in the realization of the Three-Self Chinese Church. The idea of building a unified Three-Self Chinese Church independent of foreign missions was actually originally proposed by two Anglo-American missionary strategists in the 19th century, Rufus Anderson of the American Board of Commissioners for Foreign Missions and Henry Venn of the Anglican Church Missionary Society. The so-called Three-Self movement, self-governance, self-support, self-propagation, in principle, advocated that Chinese Christians assume the leadership positions in the Chinese churches and missionaries only serve as advisors rather than commanders, and that Chinese ministers and local church leaders work hard to develop and manage churches and evangelize people without the protection and financial support of the foreign mission boards. Under the Three-Self concept, these Chinese leaders demanded greater independence from foreign mission boards and even pressed for control over funds and policy in church affairs since the dawn of the 20th century. But it did not really happen until the nationwide anti-Christian movement in the 1920s. Since the Western missionaries had to leave to avoid attacks, some of the church responsibilities had to be diverted to the Chinese leaders. During the Nanjing decade, even many missionaries returned, but the indigenization process could not be stopped once it got started. Especially during the Christian reformist efforts, the Chinese Christian leaders fully demonstrated their abilities and patriotism in carrying out many relief programs and social programs during this period of many national crises, including the Japanese military invasions. Finally, the full-scale warfare between China and Japan that was set off by the incident at the Marco Polo Bridge outside Beijing on July 7, 1937, led to 8 years of disaster for China. It also gave Chinese Christians an opportunity to fully demonstrate their loyalty and patriotism. The main danger to China's unity and development was no longer Western imperialism, but Japanese imperialism. This fact enabled Chinese Christianity to shed some of the stigma of foreignness, which plagued them for a very long time. This war facilitated the indigenization process.